Here we go. All right. Pastor Jeff was sitting up here on mute. I am sorry. I am sorry. And we're getting some feedback. Let's see if we can bring that feedback down. All right. And so I am excited for those of you on Clubhouse. You heard it. For those who joining us live. And I'm not sure why I'm getting so much feedback here. We'll try to get it down now. Hopefully, my guests can hear me, and hopefully, you can hear me okay on Clubhouse. Now, if we get the volumes corrected, look here. Let me start all over. I am super excited again for those that are joining us live. And sometimes we do have some issues, but that's okay. We're going to work through all of those.
Hey, we
I'm
here.
excited to
We're
have
here.
none other than America's favorite mentor,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
T.M. Hyman. And we have with us the curator and the CEO of Coast to Coast Ballers, none other than Robert James Walls Jr. And we're going to be calling him Benny throughout this because that's what he likes to be called. So when I say Benny, I'm talking about Mr. Walls Jr., who has a phenomenal story, by the way.
Jamie, it's Jamie.
Jamie, I'm sorry, Jamie. We're going to talk to Jamie, who has a phenomenal story. And we're going to go ahead and get started right away, gentlemen. Gentlemen, right out of the gate. First of all, TM, tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do. Then we're gonna go to Jamie. He's gonna tell us a little bit about who he is and what he does, and then we're gonna get right in to this barbershop
Hey,
conversation.
thank you so much, Pastor Jeff. Always a pleasure to hang out with you and Renee Noor. Man, T.M. Hyman, America's favorite mentor, business strategist, uh, coach. I am an administrator. I'm an executive. I'm an owner. And I love to help people level up, specifically people with big dreams, man. I once had a big dream and didn't see how it would even happen, right? Didn't think it was possible. But with support and mentors, man, things have changed dramatically. Things changed dramatically. That's why I pour back through mentorship. And so, America's favorite mentor is who I am, and probably one of the my favorite things, really. Even young people. It started off with youth, but now it's business. Even doing a Kickstart Your Vision Business and Leadership Summit tomorrow and Sunday. It's a free virtual summit, and it's all about mentoring, right? Just helping people to level up. So happy to be here with you, Renee and Jamie.
And we're gonna go ahead to Robert James Walls Jr., who will be calling Jamie. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me. TM, I love what you're doing, man. Let's connect. Most definitely. So just real quick about my story. I'm from New York City. Shout out to all the people from New York City out there. I've been born and raised in Brooklyn, and being a New Yorker, it comes with a lot of pride. And I have an Empire State of Mind. So when it comes to business, that's where my mind goes. And one of my missions is to demonstrate, or one of the missions that I've been demonstrating coast to coast, because I started my business on the West Coast, but I'm from New York. That's why my company is Coast to Coast. But I've been trying to get people to see how brown skin people like us, we dominate and win in the realm of sports. I'm a basketball player. I got a scholarship to play ball and all that stuff, and I recognize that the fundamentals and all the skill sets that I develop in basketball relates to everything that I do, whether it's family, business, the list goes on and on. So if we can get our people to tap into that understanding that we can dominate in every aspect, just like entertainment and sports, and I'll talk about that a little later about how and why.
Absolutely. Well, Jamie, we are glad to have you. TM, we are glad to have you. And we're going to go ahead and get this conversation started. So, the first question I'd like to ask you, gentlemen, and we'll go to Jamie first and then to TM, and then I'll chime in, is how important are physical attributes when it comes to dating? How important are physical
Very
attributes?
important, very
Jamie.
important. So I gotta a lot of my mentors has been Brooklyn people. So Jay Z has been one of like a father figure to me as far as like me watching his moves and understanding how he thinks and how it is smart to think as a man. When it comes to women, and I think a lot of men can relate to this. Women are like our muses, right? We get inspired by that. So it's important for them to look good, so it can make us feel good, and we can go out and put that energy out in the world. So that's like the first reason that comes to my mind of why we look at, you know, a woman's physical attributes. And yeah, I mean, that's just one off the top of my mind. Is more. I can go back on that later.
Absolutely. I like what he said. He said, women are like our music. TM, how about that? So, how important are our physical attributes to you?
Man, physical attributes are important, right? I mean, what gets all of our attention is what is attracted, you know, through our eyeballs, right? And we have eyes to see, right? So what we see should inspire. It should attract, right? If it's for us. And so, you know, I really like the response of muses, right? And, you know, women may not totally get that, but it's really about inspiration. If you know, Google the definition, right? What inspires you? And so, yeah, I agree with that. But it's not just about physical attraction, right? Because once you pull up, then you have to learn something, right? And so communication is important too, right? The brain is important too, right? So yeah, it's extremely important, but it's not all that's important.
All right, gentlemen, I absolutely resonate with your answers already. TM, you said some communication. Talk about the brain, your intelligence. And
Man,
Jamie talked about women are like our music. Now, look,
yeah,
Pastor Jeff likes to bring it real. You know, we use the internet now for dating. Some people do that
for
in
everything.
this 21st century. And Pastor Jeff is going to tell you, look, I've noticed that there are some ladies that they caramel, long silky hair, and on the social media. But then when you meet them in person, you don't even know who they are. You walk right past them, gents. Look, look.
Oh man.
So let's talk about it. Let's look. How you feel about that? Because social media now, you know, you're able to present yourself in one light, and then really, you know, what you see is not what you get. What
Well,
y'all see right now, this is Pastor Jeff. But if Pastor Jeff was dating, Pastor Jeff would be a little weary about, am I gonna get what I see, or it's gonna look. There was a movie called "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker." I don't know if y'all ever saw that.
No, you did. No, you did, Jeff. You went there, huh?
oh man.
I haven't met any women that's missing legs and limbs yet. So
Oh, dude, that's called catfishing, Pastor Jeff. That's called
Yeah,
catfishing.
help me, Tia. Help me. So, what y'all think about catfishing?
Oh man. First of all, it's scary. Because you know what you want is authenticity. What you want is, you know, you know what I'll say. This is what I'm gonna say in defense of women. Right? There's a reason why women do what they do. Right? It's a reason. You know why? Whether, and I don't know if this is totally in alignment, right? But I'm thinking of when I was going down the fake route, right? When I said authentic, right? You talked about hair, but I mean, man, like they going all out, right? Breast jobs, you know, butt jobs, but they do it because like it's something about it that we like. There's, if they didn't think that they were doing it for us, if there weren't some type of correlation, they wouldn't do it, right? So the filters and the fake versus the real, that just doesn't work on no day, right? Because it's someday you gotta authenticate, we gotta verify, right? But I think you know, women who are going all out to do these investments in themselves, right? They do it because really it's something about us that makes them do it. You know, just to balance it out.
yeah, I mean, I can build on that, Jeff.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, so I mean, it goes back to in the beginning what I was saying, that they recognize, they know that they are our music. They recognize that they inspire us. And so
Yeah.
I love that they want to inspire me in that way. You know, bless their hearts, right? We talked about that earlier.
Not blessed, they are.
but for me, like, I don't like to pay attention to things that doesn't make sense. So like, for example, if I run into a woman that displays herself in a certain type of way, and I see in person and it's not that, then I'll send her blessings to you, but I have to move on to the next situation that's more authentic, and that's just for me. Like, she might find somebody that loves that, so it is what it is, just as long as we know what we're looking for, like, and we communicate that to the women.
Facts. Hey, Pastor Jeff, listen, I almost cracked up in the middle of the comments. Somebody said, look at Vivica Fox. Vivica Fox look like Freddie Jackson.
That is so bad. Shout out to Vivica, man. We love her too.
I saw that latest commercial
Absolutely.
though. That latest commercial, she was looking a little sketchy.
Well, brothers, the truth of the matter is that women may believe that they know what men want, and for the most part, men are visual. But I believe that the actualized man wants more than the BBs, the BBB.
Absolutely.
We want you to have some brain.
Yeah.
And some men are breast men, some men are butt men. But at the end of the day, look, at my age, I'm going to tell you, gravity takes effect. You can't outdo gravity. I don't care how much money you have. And I believe that women need to understand that mature men get past all of that looks. And we want you to be authentic. How are you comfortable with being who you are? Are you comfortable with being who God made you?
Yeah.
Some ladies look better with makeup. Some ladies don't need makeup. Some of them need some on.
Right.
Whatever it is that you need.
You say some need to put some.
Look, the truth of it is, some need some on. So
show.
whatever it is that you need, be comfortable with that, but present yourself, as you said, TM, be authentic. I mean, I would be able to recognize you. Now, if you kept Pastor Jeff in school, I'm not dressed like this when I go to school, but that it's Pastor Jeff. And it's not only the ladies. Now I watch some YouTube videos. Look, TM, some men go in like you and me, and they come out with an afro like Michael Jackson when he was on the Ed Sullivan show. Or they don't have a beard at all. And yesterday they had no beard, and the next day they come out and they look like the basketball player.
Yeah.
So it's men that's doing the same thing too. But let's be authentic. So I want to ask I want to go to the next question, and that is, what is the greatest lesson? What's the greatest lesson a woman has ever taught you? We'll start out with Jamie. What's the greatest lesson a woman's ever taught you, Jamie?
So many. Jamie.
I got it. It's first thing came to my mind is power in a woman's love and support. Love and support. That energy can catapult a man to be a billionaire. I mean, if that's the world that you want to be in, or whatever your goals are. Like, whatever your goals are, if you have a loving, supportive woman, the game's over. You won.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was reaching deep for that one, man, because I mean, women have taught me a whole lot. But for me, I'm gonna go relational though, what a girlfriend, man. I've always connected with smart women, productive women. But man, I had a girlfriend that taught me how to put my t-shirt, my wife beater, down in my pants so my shirt looked right. For straight up. It was a woman who taught me to put my wife beater down in my shirt so my shirt wouldn't move, and to line up my belt with my shirt. That wasn't my dad. That wasn't my uncle or my granddad. That was a dope ass woman who wanted me to look proper everywhere I went.
That's support, right? That's support.
Yeah,
that's support.
Yeah,
that's important. So as we talk about what women, now I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Let's go, Jeff.
Look, folk will get me up. Folk, it is what it is. My mama taught me what not to look for in a woman.
Ooh.
Oh,
Look at here.
I had
Let's
aunts
talk
like
about
that.
it.
I had aunts like that.
Yeah, my mom did not play. You know, after her and my dad divorced, you know, her boyfriend, she took us out,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get my driver's license, Jamie.
Mhm.
And there's like it's an L to get to the DMV.
Uh-huh.
My mama weaving all down these other streets. I'm like, where in the world is she going? Next thing you know, we pull up on the car of her boyfriend. This guy
no.
is like 6'3, 250, 60 pounds, a undercover narc, always had a magnum on him.
no.
And my mama out there writing on his car with lipstick. I'm like, I'm about to die out here.
You know what's funny about that? When a woman is upset, like she has no fear at that point. Like
No
she doesn't
fear.
even recognize that she can be harmed in those
No fear.
scenarios, in those moments.
Absolutely. She taught me what a woman scorn would do.
Yes.
This lady put sugar in the gas tank of his motorcycle.
Wow.
She put some lye in places that it don't never need to
See,
be
but
on a
you know
man.
what, Jeff? That speaks to consequences, right? Let's talk about that. Like a lot of women don't have the experience of having to deal with their consequences.
Let's talk about it. What about the consequences, Jamie?
That's real.
What I mean by that is like when a woman gets upset, there's consequences in her behavior, supposedly, right? But there isn't for the most part. You know, I mean, I can go into a lot of different scenarios, but especially like I would say you shouldn't if it's the like domestic violence type stuff. You know, a petite woman, a small woman, you know, don't pose no threat for me. So if she's like wilding and hitting me, I'm not. It doesn't mean anything to me, but she still has to be accountable for her behavior. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for the most part, like, what the question is, what pissed her off to get to that point? You know,
Absolutely.
Instead of like trying to fix the behavior of like being so mad that you want to put hands on somebody.
Yeah.
Or do what your mom did with the lipstick and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I thought Mom and I both was about to die on that day. I didn't even get. Why couldn't she wait till I at least picked up my driver's license? I haven't even picked it up yet.
Thank you, Jesus. Nothing happened. Did he confront you guys or?
No, because he was wrong. He was at another woman's house.
Right.
And her gut, her woman's intuition.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the big
where
thing.
He was at. I just happened to be in the car with him.
Yeah, the intuition is a superpower. Like they know already. Like they can feel the energy of like if you're lying and stuff. So. You know, shout out to him for that.
Somebody said accountability is important.
Accountability is paramount
on both sides, right?
Absolutely. And you know, we've got to understand that for the most part. Look, Pastor Jeff says that, you know, I've been married for 30 years, been with my wife for 32 years. But I'm just going to tell you something. You know, I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. But this is what I tell young men. I said, you ain't got no business marrying no woman you think they can whoop your butt. You don't need to live in fear.
He's gonna be living in fear.
Yeah, you living in fear thinking she can whip your butt at any point in time. It's not that she can't. I mean, she could be a black belt and really whoop your butt. But look, if I know that ahead of time.
Yeah, especially if she's actually put hands on you and she's demonstrated that she can whip your butt. Like Chuck Deuces.
Yeah, now let's take it to Clubhouse for a minute because we've got Steve in the house. We've got McKinley Jr. in the house. We got James in the house. KC is in the house. Rocky is in the house. And see who else is in the house. So we're gonna go to the men on the stage and see if they want to chime into the conversation. Is there any man on Clubhouse that wants to chime into this conversation about accountability as a man? As we interact with the women, not to drive to the point of wanting to put lie in places that men should never have lie at. How about it? Anybody on Clubhouse? Unmic, say who you are.
Hey, it's me, McKinley. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're great, McKinley. Thanks for joining in the conversation.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm out for a walk out in Los Angeles, and really accountability. For me personally, as a business and branding coach, I've been working a lot with Black youth and other men that share, that want to promote unity with the Black youth. So I would love to speak on that and partner with people here. You guys can check out my bio, but it's really we have to be accountable toward each other, as men, and vice versa, because there is a lot of the negativity out there. So to really get it to that unity place.
Absolutely, we appreciate that, McKinley. Thank you, sir, very much for that. Anybody wants to coordinate or collaborate with McKinney, go ahead and check out his profile. Now, it put accountability is important in the comments. It says if y'all sizing each other up, keep walking.
That's hilarious. I was already laughing about that. Oh my God.
Now, look, that's what Vaughn said. Now, it's not an issue of sizing up, Jim. I think it's an issue, self-perseverance is paramount. We go to the fight or flight, and literally, I don't want to be with somebody that I'm afraid of.
The previous comment, Pastor Jeff said, if she bench press, you need to bypass her or something like that. If she bench,
if she can lift a lot of weights, then you might want to leave her alone. But here's for me, it's just negative energy, right? So like if I see that type of energy, like I have to preserve my energy for things that actually going to help us grow. So I just can't even focus my energy on that. Like it has nothing to do with sizing anybody up, right? Like,
absolutely.
Oh my God, I'm recognizing what's going on around me, and I'm making an educated decision on, hey, this doesn't make any sense. And it's funny. I want to talk about a story of like growing up in the inner city, growing up in New York. And I never really understood from both sides, whether it's men or women, where like you had to put your energy into like fighting the people that you are in relationships with. Because in New York City, when I'm traveling in different boroughs, 5 boroughs, it's dangerous just to take the train or to go to places that people don't know you. So I have to put my energy into dealing with those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes no sense to have to put my energy in dealing with a woman in that way.
No, what man wants to come home from work after, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're on a 9 to 5, who wants to come home after fighting with the world, have to fight with their woman? Nobody wants to deal with that. And who wants to come home and be put down by the woman? Tell how low down and this and that and the other.
Yeah. And Jeff, let's be clear. I want to be clear about something. I don't condone, me personally, I don't condone anybody cheating. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like tell her first, hey, this is what I want to do, and then let her make a decision. That's important to me because you're creating bad energy that way if you do it that way. So I don't condone that. Somebody said in the comments, don't cheat on a woman and then you won't get beat up or something like that. We ain't on that type of time over
in this barbershop conversation for the men that don't cheat. It's not even about cheating. That's not even in our mentality. That's not even
well Pastor Jeff, can I just jump in? Because listen, the number one thing that a man needs in his life, regardless of the situation, circumstance, whether he don't bring home enough money, whether the sex ain't good, whatever the situation is, whether he don't discipline the kids. Listen, the number one thing that a man needs is to feel respected.
TM, please say that one more time.
Respected. It's not the sex. It's none of that. And the issue is language, bro. The issue is language.
Right. How can you, I would like to know, TM, like, how is it possible that anybody, a woman can think that if you disrespecting a man, he's gonna want to respect you back?
It doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't make no
sense.
It
goes back to the communication.
Right.
A lot of times we don't verbalize it. We act it out. That's why we cheat.
I'm not gonna go on that, but yeah, I feel you. I understand.
Cheating is I'm gonna say this: cheating is a result of, right? Cheating is the result. That's the
bad decisions on the individual, right? Like bad decisions on that.
It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not. But see, I'll say this: it's
there's
not
no justification for cheating if you understand what you're doing.
Well, there's no justification for cheating, period. Just like there's no justification for putting your hands on a woman.
Absolutely.
But domestic violence comes from a lack of respect that wasn't communicated, or just a tumultuous situation, period. We should have never been together. But, again, domestic violence is the result. Cheating is the result. That's the end game, right? If we could get it right ahead of time, that's called prevention and intervention. But my point, the number one thing that a man needs is to feel respected. And it's the words that come our way that make us respond, right? TM.
That's not the first time that's come up on this show about men wanting to be respected. I hope the ladies are hearing that men want to be respected, and a big part of them being respected is about what you say to them. It's how you talk to them. It's how you make them feel by the things that you do and the things that you say.
I agree.
You know, an intelligent woman, even if she's feeling some kind of way about her man, she's not going to say that if it's negative. You know, when I was growing up, my mother used to say, don't say anything if you can't say something good.
Facts.
And I'm going to tell you, gentlemen, some transparency here. There have been some times in 32 years that I wanted to call my wife outside of Queen Victoria. But I thought about what I was going to say before I said it. And in the heated moment, the worst thing that I've ever called my wife is a knucklehead. That's the worst thing, because I'm not going to say something that I'm going to regret just to hurt you.
That's smart. That's emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
You know, and I think when women can do the same thing, you know, I really think, gentlemen, is because a woman who knows or believes that she can't beat you physically, she understands that she definitely wants to stab you below the belt with her words.
Yeah, verbally. So when we say respect, because that's kind of a trigger word to a lot of women too. You throw that respect word out, then they respect you. Got a whole list of why they shouldn't respect you, right?
Right.
so let me offer another word that's more easy on the on the mind for women, right?
Yeah, what is that? I want to know what that word is.
It's peace.
Yeah.
It's peace. It's that simple. Peace comes with, if you give us peace, then that's respect.
Well, I accept that, because I need peace in my environment to be productive, bro.
Yeah, that's respect. That's respecting you, doing your craft, leaving you alone, right? I demand that. If you don't bring peace in my world, you can't be around me. I'm building way too much cool stuff for that.
Yeah,
let's take a moment. Let's take a moment,
brother.
Say, go back to the clubhouse, and then we'll come back in on this idea of peace versus respect. I like that,
That's
Jamie, and I want to address that point. But look, if you're enjoying this on Clubhouse, you're enjoying it on Facebook, you're enjoying it on YouTube, go ahead and share. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Look, put some black and white hearts in the comments so that we know that you're engaged. And if someone else in the clubhouse wants to join in, if there's a man, women, y'all know, don't try it. So if there's a king in the stage clubhouse, go ahead, unmic and tell us your name and join in the conversation. All right, we're going to bring it back then to the live. Look, Jamie, you said the peace. Now, Pastor Jeff, I'm in my 60s. I need more than peace. All right? I'm just going to be honest with you. Peace is fine, but I need to hear from you that, one, you love me. I need to hear from you that you're proud of me. I need to hear from you that I'm a good father. I need to hear from you that I'm a good husband. I need to hear from you. I need encouragement when things are rough, that look, we're going to get through this.
Absolutely.
We've made it through worse times than this, and we're going to get through this. And I'm right here by your side. You're not going through this by yourself. Those are things that I need to hear. That's respect for me. When I make a mistake, because I am confident, but I'm human. And when I make a mistake, I don't need that mistake thrown in my face every time a conversation comes up.
Help us, Pastor. Help us.
You know, I don't need to hear it. When I first started parenting, I parented the way that I was parented. And so I used corporal punishment. All right. Did I overdo it? Absolutely, I did. But I improved. I went to counseling. That's right. Pastor Jeff said he went to counseling. I went to counseling and I changed what I was doing. So I don't want to hear 10 years down the line of what I was doing 10 years before I did the improvement. Acknowledge that I've changed. And tell me, I appreciate the fact that you listened and you changed. So for respect for Pastor Jeff, I need a little bit more than peace. Peace could be just you leaving me alone. Peace could be let me go in my man cave and come out when I get ready. All right.
Right.
But I want the peace of mind to know that if I've made a mistake, that
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get punished. You're not gonna do what Mud Deer said and put a dime in between your knees and keep it shut up. All right. Look, let's just make it real. I need to know that you're not gonna be holding it against me for the rest of my life. That you're gonna still support me and say, hey, we all make mistakes. Let's move on. What about it, Jimmy? All right. Let's go to our next question.
You agree, bro? I do.
Go ahead, TM.
No. I'm just saying. All of this perspective was good. I absolutely understood where Jamie was coming from with the piece and in the process, right? I mean, the thought process behind it. But words matter. Language is important. Affirmation from your partner is important. And the culmination of all of that equals the respect, right? And so, but it goes both ways. It's reciprocal, right? I don't think we're expecting nothing that a woman doesn't expect, but it's just a different thing, right? When she feels respect, it makes her feel secure, right? And that's what she wants to feel. She wants to feel secure, right, in a relationship. So I think we look for the same things through different lenses, though, right?
Absolutely.
Can I build on that, Jeff? Because
absolutely,
this falls right into the category of what I do in my world.
Right. If we can get you to move a little bit, there you go, to the middle of the center of the screen.
Baller, right? So the women in my organization, they look for men. They say, "Hey, talk baller to me." If you're not talking baller to them, which is another word for winning. Baller is another way for winning. So all of the affirmations that you just said, Jeff, is winning talk. So if you're not talking winning talk to me, if you're not talking baller to me, then you can't have a conversation with me, because you're creating that negative energy that we're not trying to stay in. We're not trying to be in that space anymore. We taking over now. Like it's our time to take over this planet as brown skin people. So everybody that's brown skin, you got to understand, we got to start talking with more winning talk. We have to put that out in the universe. All this negative talk, we got to let that go. Let it go.
Absolutely.
High vibration energy, bro. I totally agree.
Absolutely. And that's something that
that's the baller mindset, though, Jeff. That's where my philosophy, I trademarked and all that came from. The baller mindset is
baller mindset. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. And the higher frequency thinking on a positive level and not on a negative level. And although negativity is a part of life, it takes a negative and a positive for energy. Let's concentrate on the positive side of it, especially in a relationship. We get enough negative energy outside in the world. And so this has been absolutely phenomenal conversation. But I want to move to our next question. I'm here in Augusta, the hometown of the late Godfather of Soul himself, James Brown. And he said, this is a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman or a girl. Gentlemen, what do you think about that?
I would love to speak to that. So
go ahead, Jamie.
Another mantra in my organization that I do with kids and women and men is, we say, and even in Scarface, they told us a little secret in there where it says, you rule the world. Like, we can live, everybody can rule the world, not just men, women, and children can rule the world. So my mantra is always, baller gang women rule the world, baller gang men rule the world. So everybody is included, because we rule the world in our worlds, in our universe that we live in. We have to, because if we don't, somebody else will.
Absolutely. Good point. Good point. What about it, TM?
I'm a fan of James Brown, bro. And I don't think we can do too much of anything, right, without the femininity of a woman, right? I'll speak for myself, right? I need the touch, right? I need the perspective. I need the language, Pastor Jeff. If the language is not there, and I've tried it. I've tried relationships where I knew the language wasn't there, but I thought maybe it could develop. I thought maybe it could change. Why wouldn't you want it to? And what I learned is she wasn't able to. She just wasn't able to. It wasn't that she didn't want to. She just wasn't able to. And so, yes, we need women in this world if we are going to be productive. And I think if we're going to optimize, I'll say that.
Yeah, we need each other. Let's be clear about that, because sometimes people get it confused.
Yeah,
we need each other.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just about intimacy, right? I think it's just about humanity, right? We need each other, but men need women. Let me just be clear in my position.
Say that to you.
Men need women.
Absolutely, especially our little girls too, right? They need.
Yeah, they need dad perspective. They need dad to help them to understand what to look for, what not to look for.
I'm a helicopter dad, so it's on when it comes to my daughter.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, I want to put you in a hypothetical situation. In this hypothetical situation, God has called you up and he's having a conversation with you. And he says, TM, he says, Robert, look, I give each of you $1 million, but you have to live the rest of your life without a woman. Or I'll give you a woman that's the right woman. Which one are you going to take?
Man, that's a good one.
Repeat that one more time.
So he says, TM, he says, Jamie, I'm going to give you two choices. The first choice is I'll give you $1 million. But with that $1 million, you will forever be single. You won't have a woman.
Jeez.
That's the easy one. That's the easy one, Jeff. Give me that money.
I'll give you the right woman.
I'm joking.
Without the $1 million. So what's your choice and why?
Yeah.
Since
it's real quick.
Jamie said it's easy, we're going to go to Jamie first.
All right,
Jamie, you taking $1 million and can't have a woman for the rest of your life, or you're going to pick the right woman, and why?
That's funny. So yeah, definitely gonna take the woman, right? Because we're gonna help each other build way more than $1 million. You know what I mean? So that $1 million is we can make that in a week. You know what I mean? So that's simple.
Jamie said that's an easy choice.
Yeah,
we're gonna build more than $1 million. TM, same question.
I think it comes down to a mature mind versus an immature mind, right? Because I mean, one, I've done that in my life, so I think you have to up the ante a little bit, because I would be like, "Come on, God, I've been there already," right? But so no, I'm like Jamie, right? You with the right woman, you can multiply, and I'm into compounded yield and multiplication. Like I do math really, really well, Pastor Jeff.
Compound amorize,
bro. So I mean, it's an investment, right? It's a long-term investment that's going to glean you more than $1 million. $1 million might have sounded like a lot of money when we were 12.
And that Bonnie and Clyde energy is fun, man. Tupac talked about it, right? Jay and Beyonce, they talk about it. That Bonnie and Clyde energy is incredible, man.
That's right.
Energy is incredible.
But
I should have upped it to $1 billion.
Is you said
you should have. I got it on the chain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I should have upped it to $1 billion.
Yeah, there should have been a lot more money, but the key to it still was the right woman. You said the right woman, because with the right woman, you can make anything happen.
Yeah, we going in the moon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gentlemen, tell me what you think about this. This has been my perspective since I was a teenager, and I said it like this: a good woman get anything she wants out of a man.
Facts.
Had nothing to do with manipulation. What it is that there's something that we're born with that's innate in a man to want to provide and please a woman.
Go rob a bank for her.
And when you get that woman that is, as the young people say, is your ride or die.
That's right.
You know that she loves you and she's gonna stick with you. Like you said to him, you'll rob the bank, you'll get on Elon Musk's satellite on his plane and go to the moon, you go to Mars.
Definitely not rob a bank though, guys.
Well, clearly, I don't even have a felony as a black man. Okay? So to survive this life, and not even have a felony, right? I mean, but guess what? The point is, there have been dudes who look like us who have robbed banks for women. Absolutely. Let's just be real about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so that right woman, if women understood the power that they have, they never have to say a harsh word. They and the fact of it is that for men, I believe that when we know we're wrong and you still treat us like a king, that thing eats you up. I don't know about any other man, but for me, that eats me up. You know that I was wrong and you still treat me like a king.
That's right.
I'm going to do you right.
That's respect, Pastor Jeff.
That's respect. Look, say it again to you. That's respect.
That's what it is. And that's all we want. We don't want the finger pointing in our face. We know, just like you know. But sometimes when based on the situation, we go tit for tat, we petty. I know it, you know it.
Look
here. I think also the key here is that women need to recognize we're giving them grace, right? Like they need to recognize that they're actually behaving in certain ways that we can point fingers at and we can do all of that stuff that they do to us, but we don't do that. We give them grace, but they're not even aware that we're doing that. So we need to make sure that they're aware that we're actually we're asking for what we actually are giving. You know, we can't be a hypocrite with this situation. Like women can't be a hypocrite and say, hey, I don't want you to treat me negatively, say mean words to me, but then they say mean words to you. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to pause for just a moment and speak to all of our listeners, those in Clubhouse, those on Facebook, as well as those that's on YouTube. If you're enjoying the conversation, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let us know that you're enjoying the conversation with the Kings today. Let us know that it's feeding you, that you're getting something out of it. If you're on Clubhouse, go ahead and put some black and white hearts in the comments. Put some black and white hearts in there. Let us know that you are loving the conversation. And again, we'll take a moment and pause. If there's any man, gentlemen, any kings on Clubhouse who want to join in the conversation, just unmic and tell us who you are, tell us your name, and go ahead and let us hear your comment. Any kings on Clubhouse? All right, we're going to bring it back to the live. I am enjoying this conversation. Gentlemen, look, I got a good, hard question for you. Both of you indicated you've been in relationships before. The one thing that men hate to talk about for the most part is that time of the month. They hate it. We don't want to talk about that time of the month. So my question is, gentlemen, how do you feel about that time of the month? To you, I see you, bro. What's your thoughts? The America's favorite mentor. That time of the month.
Learning one another, right? Learning your partner, and knowing that things are going to shift, right? And knowing how to respond. I think it goes back to the core of really everything we've been talking about, like respect. It's about compassion, bro. You know, compassion. I had to learn that though, because a lot of times it's unspoken. Like that's not something that people just talk about, right? Mm-hmm. So I think men, what we say is, "What the hell is wrong with you? Or what's going on right now?" Right? Because we know something is shifting. But if she doesn't tell you, like, let you know, listen, like I shouldn't have to figure it out, right? Communication. What I think is compassion. That's what I learned. But I learned it as I got older, bro. And it took a few relationships to be like, oh, okay, I know. She didn't even have to tell me because I knew, like, okay, well, that's what's going on right now. I need to back off. Or I need to, see if she wants something, to eat, right? Or what can I do for you, right? Lean in a little more. Compassion, bro.
Compassion, lean in a little more. Jamie.
So what's the question again specifically?
How do you feel about, men hate to talk about that time of the month. A lot of men leave. They leave home. They stay gone. They dealing with the boys. How you feel about it?
So I like things to be effective. So I think it's an individual thing to make that scenario effective. If the man feel comfortable eventually about talking about it with her because it's going to make her feel good, then they can have that conversation and try to figure that out, negotiate it. But for me, from my perspective, if she tells me, if she wants to tell me about,
they need you to talk a little bit louder.
If she's talking about her administration, a lot of times it would go more well if she's talking to her girlfriends about it. You know what I mean? So maybe we had that discussion about, hey, maybe you want to talk to your girlfriends about that. But just let me know when you're on your period, or when you have your administration, so I can know, how to treat you in that way, because you can treat them, in a more graceful way, like TM said, if you know.
So what do we as men need to do?
Communicate.
To become comfortable with the conversation. And
Communicate.
I'm just going to be transparent. You know, the first time my wife asked me to go to the store and bring her something back, I'm like, I don't want nobody's. I did it, but it was like I was undercover. You know, I was Dick Tracy.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't want
funny.
nobody to see what I was doing. All right.
Yeah.
But then I come to the point, I'm going to live with this woman for the rest of my life. I need to know what she uses. I need to know what size she uses. I need to be able to have a conversation with her about what she's going through. And we need to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
So what do we do as men to become more comfortable with understanding, first of all, what's going on, understand the mood swings, understand that, you know, how she feels about it, and to be able to make her as comfortable as possible, and to make it like it's just another part of life. You know, not, oh, I'm just gonna say it. Oh, she's on the rag, so I'm out. You know, that's
I say,
what men
give her
say.
some
She's
ice
on the
cream.
rag, so I'm here.
Give her some ice cream and get out the way.
Yeah. So how do we get past give her the ice cream and get out the way?
Ask questions, man. I think it depends on where you are in your relationship, right? If you're talking like long term, this is like clearly if it's your wife, you already know. You should already know, right? To your point. I'm gonna tell you, I had an understanding because like my mom, like she ain't have no shame at all. Like she sent us to the store as like young men. And
Oh, wow.
in my mind, it's like, what the heck? But clearly, it was because she couldn't go on her own, right? It was that instance, right? My mom worked a whole lot, and so it was one of those. Can you go to the store for me? And I could only think of really one instance, and once I was like, what the heck? But for me, it was understanding. I mean, in any man, I mean, I used to want to be a doctor. I thought I was going to be a doctor up until the age of 22. So anatomy and, the body, I mean, we just got to be comfortable and mature, right? But I think asking questions help specifically when the mood shift because we don't really know until we start feeling different vibes, that things are going on. So for me, communication, man, ask questions. That's about all we can do. Now, unless you got a hack for us, and we need that hack, Pastor Jeff, because that's all I'm gonna do. And if you don't want to respond, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna get you some ice cream, like Jamie told me.
Yes, and Jeff, I want to commend you. I want to celebrate you. I want to congratulate you for being brave enough not to care about what other people are saying and going to get your wife some tampons.
Hey,
that's amazing.
You know what? There was an ROI in there for Pastor Jeff.
That's funny. So,
there was an ROI in
I love that. I love that. That's funny. That's
going
funny.
to get my wife when she needed it. And like I say, I learned what brand, what size. I mean, she's my wife, and it's a part of life.
Yeah.
So I think we're taught as men that it's taboo, especially if you're my age. TM, you better not ask the man to go get you some Kotex.
Bro, first of all,
not ask him to buy a tampon.
You said sizes. I'm like, sizes.
Look, I didn't even know what a panty liner was during that time frame.
I still don't know. So
bro, see, you need to know what a panty liner is.
I don't think I do.
You might run into one.
I mean, some things can be delegated, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't go for anyone other than my wife today. I would go for my mother today,
right?
And I would go for my wife today. That's as good as it gets for me. Brother.
I would say for me personally, it wouldn't be no outside forces that comes into play and why I make decisions. My decisions come from me.
Speak a little bit louder, Jamie. We can't hear you.
So no outside forces will come into play when I'm making my decisions on what I want to do in any situation. Mm-hmm. So in that situation, when it comes to my wife or my girlfriend wanting me to get tampons and stuff like that, it will be based on how I feel about it only. Okay. And for me personally, I never really gave a damn about what other people think about me outside of my circle because, again, go back to sports. I learned that because when you're playing on team concepts and arenas, there's always the crowd heckling, saying stuff, trying to get you off your game. So at that point, I understand. I'm aware that it's all about you, right? So for me, I would, if I'm going to the store and my wife needs me to get it, it's no big deal. I don't even care. You know what I mean? Just tell me. I just need to know where to go. You got to tell me what aisle to go into. because I don't know anything about that, but I can get it done. It's not a big deal if I have the time to do it.
Now, I think TM hit it on the head. It's that communication. And as we talked about
Yes,
that mutual respect, it becomes a part of, I respect her enough to be able to go and not care about what other men say, because literally
I'd be
a
damned
lot
if
of
I
other
care about what
women
men say.
would be like,
That's funny.
wow, that's a great dude. You know,
Yeah.
but
And it
it's
ain't
the
their
men
ROI, Pastor. It ain't the ROI that's involved either.
Look, I just got to make it plain. There is a ROI, a return on investment.
I love that. They love that.
And
we
when
should
you got
stop
the right
making
ROI, it drowns out what other people think.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Other men can laugh, whatever they want to do, but when you know what the ROI is, you ain't paying them no attention, bro.
No.
You on lockdown,
None.
and I'm smiling.
That's funny.
So look, this is good. I think this may be the last question. We'll see where we get. We're coming close to the top of the hour, but you know, it's been said that food is the way to a man's stomach. Gentlemen, how important is it for your woman to be able to cook more than a boiled egg?
Extremely.
Tio, talk about
it. Right? Go ahead. Yeah.
My last girlfriend could not cook. Her mother could not cook. And I didn't know it really until I expected her to cook. We ate out all the time. You know, I mean, we went out to eat all the time. And so, you know, I think basic stuff like kind of learned, but she didn't have to cook, right? She didn't grow up in an environment where she cooked. So, you know, for me, it's extremely important. And, you know, we're not together now. That's why she's an ex-girlfriend. Not holistically, it just wasn't about cooking, right? But just wasn't as domestic in general, right? But you know, but on top of her game, but just wasn't domestic. It's extremely important that you cook, ladies.
Tim, what is domestic?
So my message is, and I was
hold on for a second, Jamie.
Okay.
I need Tim to define for us.
Oh, okay.
What domestic is? What does that mean, Tim?
Oh. Listen, bro. Like I don't need a maid in my life, right? But I need someone who cares about the kitchen being clean and the bathroom being clean just as much as I do. When I care more about the dishes in the sink or the ring around the toilet than you do, you're not domestic.
Tim said, if I can keep the seat up, you can keep it clean.
That's respect, bro.
Absolutely.
Jamie, you know, I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Jamie, how important is it that a woman be able to cook?
Well, I want to make this statement. This is the most important statement, I think, in my mind. We have, as brown skin people, we have to stop making collective decisions on individual decisions. If it's an individual decision that you need to make, don't let the collective make that decision for you. It has to be based on the individual and what they want to do. So for me, as an individual, when it comes to you know, a woman doing these duties, food. For me, in my life, if she can't cook, I'll hire a chef. And if the chef can teach her how to cook, then that's cool too. But when it comes to soul food, though, because that's what we named it, that's what I always heard growing up, you know, soul food, right? Like that's an understanding that is spiritual and it's something that can heal you, food. So we gotta make sure we're making the right food. And we wasn't even making the right food when we were talking about soul food back in the 80s and 90s that I remember. You know, so we have to have a conversation, communication, a discussion about what's the right food for us individually too, because sometimes what's good for me individually wouldn't be good for the woman individually, as far as what she needs to intake for her food to be healthy for her body. So it has to be understanding. Has to be a lot of understanding going on. But though, I do appreciate a good cook, though. I do appreciate a woman that can, you know, cook a healthy meal so I can go out in the world and do what I do.
With that being said, ladies, you know, and I like that two different perspectives, because at the end of the day, we're individuals. And for some men, they want you to be able to clean. It don't have to be like the drill sergeant wants it, but we want a clean house. and we want to be able to come and get something to
I can't
eat.
be the only one cleaning, Pastor Jeff. When
Can't
I
be the only
clean,
one.
clean better than you, it's a problem. Cause see, I'm gonna hire the chef. I'm gonna hire the chef. But
Yeah, even the cleanup crew, it's cheap now. And then let me say this: we in the future, man. You know what I mean? Like I always talk about, I'm CEO Jetson. Like we are the real life Jetsons right now, so we can hire Rosie, whatever we want to do out here.
But I'm not gonna hire Rosie just because you lazy.
Well, no, we want to. Well, we're gonna put
TM said, "I'm not hiring Rosie just because she's lazy."
It's not going down.
That's hilarious.
Say, you got to show some effort. I like that.
It's
TM.
called initiative, bro.
Some
It's called
initiative.
initiative.
And look, if you working with me,
Respect.
then
That's
we can hire somebody.
Yeah, right.
You
That's the key. That's the key, Jeff.
You got to
If she's
be
putting
you
in
gotta
work
be
in a lot
working
of
with
other
me.
areas. Then that's key. That's what I mean. Right, exactly. That's key. She got to put in work somehow. Some
initiative, bro.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
And
I want to make it personal.
Vice versa.
I want to make it personal, and I'm going to go to you first, TM, as we come to the top of the hour. As we said, some say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. TM, just between the brothers, what's the way to your heart?
Man, it's by being authentic, bro. It's like being confident in who you are and the value that you bring, right? Knowing your worth, bro. There's something about a confident, like independent woman who knows her value, that just does something for me. It's attractive, especially if she's just attractive, right? But you know, a woman who can really hold her own, right? And compliment, right? Don't need anything, because I'm gonna give you everything, right? If you're the right woman anyway. So to the moon, Alice. But it's that confidence, bro. It's a confident woman who's handling her business. Like I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room, but when I can connect with a partner, right? A woman that can take me somewhere. Oh, we going somewhere for real. So yeah, absolutely.
Right, Jamie.
Yes.
What's the way to your heart, brother man?
Love that, TM. So the way to my heart for a woman is her recognizing who I am, like really recognizing who I am and paying attention and understanding me as a person and loving me that way. Because you can easily love all the stuff that I do, right? Like you can easily love that. So and by osmosis, just being around me, you're gonna be I don't want to say a boss woman or whatever, but just being around me, you're gonna be an entrepreneur. You're gonna feel that energy. You're gonna want to be a millionaire because you feel the energy. You want to tap in, you know what I mean? So that's gonna happen anyways. But for me, I just don't want it to be superficial, right? Like I want it to be, you actually know my heart, you know who I am in intimate settings and stuff like that, in personal situations, and you love that. And if that's the case, then that's what I want from my woman.
Gentlemen, it has been, as Les Brown would say, a plum-pleasing pleasure to have you here. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for the value in what you've shared. Thank you for the insights as we've chopped it up here in this barbershop conversation. We're going to take it to the clubhouse as we close it out here on the live. This is the Tom Ford Fridays. I've been your guest, Pastor Jeff, and I hope both of you will come back again. Robert James Walls
Thanks
Jr.,
for having me.
TM Hyman. Very quickly before we go, TM, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. We'll move from there straight to Jamie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can hit me up right here. You can follow me on Clubhouse. You can follow me, TM Hyman, on Clubhouse. You can follow me on Instagram as well. But man, you can check me out all weekend. It's a mentoring weekend. Kickstart your vision. We are doing a live summit tomorrow, Business and Leadership Summit. Tomorrow and Sunday. Renee Noor is participating. I think she's on 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. But man, we have speakers coming from around the world, as mentioned, Amsterdam, the UK. We're just helping business owners and leaders level up, man. So you can follow me on all social media platforms. Google me, but let's connect. Build your network. Make me a part of your network. Let's connect. Thanks, Pastor Jeff. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you, TM Hyman, America's favorite mentor. We're going to go to Jamie. And Jamie, tell us, how can we get in contact with you, brother?
All right, so I'm everywhere, but I want to say thank you, Jeff, for having me. It's been super funny and empowering at the same time. So I had a ball having barbershop talk with you guys. You can type in Google Coast to Coast Ballers. Everything will pop up. My website. There's a blog on there to get you. There's information in there to get you to having the mindset of a billionaire. Which, if you don't reach that status, at least you be financially free. I mean, and then we work with kids. You know, my foundation of my company is I do sporting events. So we work with little girls, little boys, and grown-ups, coast to coast, trying to get people in the right mindset mentally in their communities. You can find me on Twitter. Shout out to my Triple OG, my mentor, Barack Obama. He's following me on Twitter. So feel free to come to Twitter and follow me too. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you can name. If you type in Coast to Coast Ballers or Robert Walls Jr., you can find me easily. I'm on the front page of every Google search.
Very quickly, tell us about the Royal community.
Oh, the Royal Society?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So I met Grant Cardone and Bryant Miguel through the Royal Society because Bryant Miguel created the Royal Society, and they did an event at the NASDAQ in my hometown, New York City. But I wasn't able to make it. I was in Houston helping my little brother try to make it to the NBA. But the Royal Society is a group full of loving people around the world, that some awesome public figures that I met that love just supporting you because you're a human. So, you know, it's an awesome place to be. They support and listen to every person's situation, whether it's they celebrating, we do royal brags, or if they have something that they feel bad about, we listen to that, sympathize, and offer solutions. So Royal Society is an amazing group of individuals. I call them my fellow superheroes. You know, Bryant Miguel is kind of like Xavier, and he brought all of us together, all superheroes around the world, to, you know, do some more help. So that's how I look at it.
Let's link though, bro. Let's make sure we link. I'm gonna hit you up.
Absolutely.
Actually, you on Clubhouse, so I'll hit you right
I'm
right
everywhere.
Hey, Pastor
Star
Jeff,
Walls.
one
Star
more.
Walls on Clubhouse, and the Royal Society is on Clubhouse. So look here, I am a member. If you're not, you absolutely need to become a member of the Royal Society on Clubhouse. Hook up with Star Walls, Robert James Walls Jr., who has a remarkable story that we're looking forward to hearing at another time on a different show. And we'll talk about all those awards that are behind you, and how you won a points award while your knee was jacked up.
Yeah. I'm a two-time men's scoring champion.
We'll talk about that on another show. But gentlemen, again, it's been my pleasure to have you here. Hopefully you'll come back again. For all of our listeners, we absolutely love you. And as I close out, look, if nobody told you today, you have an absolutely beautiful smile. If you don't believe me, go find yourself a mirror. Your bathroom mirror, a hallway mirror, a compact mirror, rear view mirror. I don't care. Just get a mirror. Smile at yourself. I guarantee you, yourself is going to smile back. Take that as God smiling at you. Now go share God's smile with the rest of the world this week. This has been your guest, Pastor Jeff, and I'm looking forward to you coming back next week at the same GW3 time, where we have these Tom Ford Fridays. The men are going to chop it up with a barbershop conversation. We're going to talk about men, mindset, money, and matrimony. Until the next time, God bless you.